Hey there, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick video on the in opportunities building up the commissions tab. So we've gotten rid of green sheets for the most part. Now there are some unique properties like leases and commercial and some green sheets that have some or some deals that have some wacky stuff about them that we still need to use green sheets for. But for the most part, your normal transaction, you're not going to use green sheets anymore, and that's a good thing. So there's a process you need to go through in command and opportunities to make sure you go through the commissions tab correctly. And so I'm going to do a quick run through of how to do that right now. So I'm going to log into command and I'm going to start from there. So let's get cranking. All right, so first of all, of course, you need to be in opportunities. So here's my opening screen. I'm just going to go to opportunities. I've got an opportunity set right here. I have a demo opportunity where I'm in the active phase, like it's an active listing. We're in negotiations right before we go under contract, which would be where I would drag it right over here. So I'm going to drag them over here. And I'm just going to do that to show you how easy that is. Changes over to under contract. Click over here. There they go. I'm going to click into this listing, into this opportunity now. If you're taking notes, step one is make sure you have a listing selected for this opportunity, where you're a buyer or a seller. By the time you get to an under contract part, you should have a listing selected for it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select from listings. It defaults to your listing, so it's going to pull one up that I've got going on. So I'm just going to select this one because it is. If it's not, if you're like the buyer, then you can search by it. Make sure you change this list to all listings, and it's going to look them all up. So I'm going to select that one. You'll notice it shows up right up here. There you go. Now the next thing to do is go into offers. I need to add an offer here, right? So again, whether I'm a listing agent or the buyer, I need to add this offer in here. So I'm going to add it. You can name it whatever you want. If you have just one offer, then don't worry about this. If you have multiple offers, this might be easy to work with to set up. The Smith offer and the Jones offer and the whatever. So, label it what you need to. So I'm just going to hit create offer. Now, I want to put in the offer details. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 steps in this, right? So I have the initial offer, offer date, close date, make these correct. This will be the projected close date. This will show up as what the COE is. So make this as accurate as possible. I'm going to go through parties here. You do have to have a name in here. So it doesn't have to be a contact because they're assuming this is somebody else. The more information you put in here, the better. The better database you can build up. And, if you want to be able to contact orphans and stuff like that, you will have their information. And now is the best time to get all that stuff. You do need the other associate's name. So whatever they are. Right. Again, if you want to put information in here, put all this information in here, the better, so that you can use that in your business to make your business better. All right. The next thing, you go to terms. So this is what the terms are. So how much cash is going in? So I'm going to make this listing is at $320,000. I'm going to make it $330,000 just because that's the market at the moment right now. So I'm going to put $50,000 in cash. And that would mean $280 in finance. We're going to put down $5,000 in earnest money. Notice you can put in a percentage or a dollar figure. It's going to calculate the other box that you're in here. We don't really use options that much in Arizona, so that's not much here. Buyer will give termination notice within blank days under contract. This is the generic term for our inspection period. We have our 10-day inspection period. And are there any costs and stuff like that are being contributed? So is the seller contributing? What this is going to do is help math out the seller net sheet that you can produce at the end of this. So if you put dollars in here, it's not going to change anything big out of here. It's just going to add it to the net sheet at the end. So next thing is the agent analysis. So this would be if you're especially useful if you have multiple offers. You can actually put your analysis in here. The pros, the cons. Pros, strong offer, strong cash. Cons, still has inspection contingency. summary, this is a great offer, you should take it. Or if it's multiple offers, then you start giving the pros and cons of each individual offer, and that way the seller can make the most accurate choice there. And if I hit save, I have this offer. It's sitting here. I've got a big green button right here, or a reject, or an edit, or an add negotiation. So yeah, if you have a counter, you can add a negotiation and change that offer around. If you want to edit this offer, you got something wrong. If you want to add some analysis, if you want to send this offer to somebody, now we're in the habit of actually sending the actual contract documents to the clients, and that's the best habit to be in. Do not get out of that habit. So if you have another negotiation, you can throw it in there. If you're, offer counter, that's what you can do here. It'll just supplant everything and show the final number. But if you're not doing that, if you're going to negotiate back and forth, and then once everything is accepted, throw what that contract data is in here, that's fine. But I have to hit accept. Once I hit accept, you'll notice this commission tab lights up. Ta-da! Now I have this one that's accepted, and I can click in the commissions tab. The contract date is required. That's blank right here, so I'm going to put the contract date in there. Let's put that as today, right? It does some pre-calculations for you. If this is wrong, come here and change it, right? So if this really should be 2%, do that. It'll math that out. It'll give you a big error because it didn't change the math down here. You're going to have to go change that. 3%, there you go. Notice it sucked the close date out of that offer. So that's where that comes from. If you have to change this, then you need to go back in the offer and edit it, because that's where it's getting that. So if you're just a solo agent, here's where you work it. You've got your name, you've got one unit, you've got $9,900. That's the total commission. This should be relatively live, especially as of the end of last month. So it's going to show you what you have left on your cap, what you have left on your royalty, all of that kind of good stuff, and what your final check should be. If you want to give money to KW Cares, KW Kids Can, whatever one, you can do all that here. If you need to add an item like a TC, this is where you do that. So I want to add a deduction, call it $350 for a transaction coordinator. You do need to put in information in here, TC, I'll pay Karen that, their address, there you go, their phone number, and their email address. There, I'll just put that one in there. That gives all the proper information to the MCA to be able to produce this type of stuff in here. Now, you will also need to give in their W-9. If it's somebody you haven't worked with, they need to have that W-9 so that we can pay them appropriately and 1099 them appropriately. Now, this would be for an internal deduction. So paying somebody like a transaction coordinator or somebody out of your paycheck. If I need to add another agent, like it's me and somebody else that are splitting this, then I dig into and add, I have to reduce my commission. So obviously, if I'm paying also splitting this with another agent, I'm not getting this total commission. So I'm going to go down and get $9,900. This would be $4,000 to me. And now down here it has add an agent as a button. So I hit this add agent. I'm going to go select that agent. It will allow you to add any agent in the office, right? So it knows what office we're in. This is an internal split within the office. So any agent within the office you can add here. Gotcha. So I'm going to go ahead and add Ashley. You start typing in their names. Now it's telling me errors on here because the total commission is not correct, because I have a total commission of $9,000 and I only have $4,000 sent to me. So I'm going to send $5,900 to her. Now that totals up correct. This is an error that's currently being fixed right here. The E&O insurance stuff, it's charging $50 to everybody. That's something that the MCA will correct in the end. It's something that they're supposed to do. And can't add another agent. And then all you do is hit this submit button right here. Once you're done with this, hit that submit, and that submits it to the MCA for her processing. Now, once she gets in there and creates the distribution authorization, she will load that DA into your opportunity, and then you'll have that accessible and able to be distributed to your title company. If you if something changes after you have done this, you'll need to work with your MCA. At our office here, small changes and stuff like that, I believe Becky can do pretty well. Larger changes, she actually has to send this back to you to have you go in and make the corrections. And I think that's probably the best way to handle it. You need to be responsible for your corrections of things. If it's a little thing, then that's one thing. If it needs to be done quickly, like at closing, or if it's just oh yeah, I forgot a referral agent, or I'm gonna go and contribute, or I forgot my TC. That's something that needs to be sent back to you, and you actually go in and correct. So that's it. After you hit the submit button, Becky gets that. Turnaround time on that is variable depending on where you are in the transaction. That's where it is very important for you to have the close of escrow date in there, and it be correct. If the close of escrow is the end of next month, then there's not a big rush to produce that DA and put it in there right away. There may be corrections between now and then, so the MCA might not produce that DA right then. But if the COE is at the end of this week, then they're going to turn that around and get it in there as quickly as possible. A quick side note on that: the best time to do this, to take in your offer, the best time to do this is when you have an offer, right? But to actually go through the commissions step, the best time to do that is actually after you have completed the last process that might change the price, which typically is the appraisal or the inspection. One of those two, at day 10, day 15, somewhere there, you've gotten those two pieces out of the way, and you're unlikely to change the price after that. Put the offer in when you have the accepted offer, but don't go through the commissions tab until you're pretty sure that the price is not going to change, basically after inspections or appraisals. So there you have it. I think that should help everybody get moving in the commissions tab, so that we can get things rolling smooth through Becky and getting out there. All right, appreciate it.